Hello, this is Chris Hill with the Rising Tide webcast, where our goal is to give you basic content to help you to grow your business. My guest today is Mike Lewantowicz, and so me and Mike are going to discuss for a little bit helping a new person get leads, what it looks like in the conversation. In our conversation today, what I'll be is a new agent that is being hired by Mike, and the reason for this is Mike and Noel have one of the fastest growing base shops in our company currently. Since the beginning of this contest we're running with Integrity, they've been averaging double-digit increase just about the whole time. And so it's an upward graph, which looks amazing. And so their base shop is growing rapidly. So we wanted you to hear what Mike is saying to his people to help get them moving. And that should give you some idea of what you should be communicating with your growing upline and the amount of leads that you should be buying, the way you should be acting, so you can have the same success. Thank you for jumping on me, Mike. Can you hear me?
Happy to be here, Chris.
Perfect.
I'm here with you.
All right.
And happy.
So we'll jump right in, and I'll be a new person that Mike has hired. And where in the process would you start talking to them about leads? And or do you want to give a high level of the importance of leads before we get into it?
And Chris, if I've been talking to you as a new agent, leads started even back when I started interviewing you. So I think the first thing is most people, when they come to us, we know that there's value in leads as part of what we do in our business. So we've probably talked about, we've probably set the expectation. You probably understand that leads cost money. So Chris, if you're licensed and you're getting ready to get rolling and you've gone through some of our initial training steps, a few things I've probably helped you do to this point. If not, that I'm talking about, say, Chris, man, hey, have we showed you how to look at your own life insurance and review to see what you might need, or your family might need, and help you get a policy on yourself? So if we've not had that discussion, that's definitely something that we've done or will do right away. The next thing is, and somebody, maybe they've got a bunch of life insurance, but maybe they don't understand how what they have compares to our portfolio. So I take the time. Sometimes they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea what you have. Yes, this makes a lot of sense. I need to get one. So that's another conversation, more depth. But go ahead, Chris.
So if I'm a new agent, one of the things that I should do is take all of my policies that I currently have and go to my grown up and say, hey, here's all the insurance I have. Will you help me look through it?
Exactly.
Okay,
and here's
so
why.
I should dig it out and take it to you.
I just had an agent who's an older agent. He said, oh, Mike, I've got life insurance. I said, that's awesome. I said, let's review it just as if you were a client, because you're going to learn how this review process goes. So he said, okay, well, he got his stuff from his job, which he doesn't own. And so he didn't know that his prices go up 50 to 100% every 5 years for the part that he pays for. And then he got out his credit union policy. He said, oh, I got $60,000 to the credit union, got a real good deal with that. I said, I bet it's just like mine. I said, they got a good deal today. Give me $5,000 free. He says, that's so? I said, yeah, it's accidental death. He says, well, I'm so healthy, I think I'm going to die in an accident. I said, that's great, but the CDC differs their opinion. They say you only got a 4% chance of going out in an accident, which is a 96% your policy won't pay. He said, oh. I said, but guess what? You're learning just like our clients learn, and we have to know this stuff. So good job getting your policies out. So that's a big first step for everybody.
So you're teaching me through my own policy how to deal with other people's policy and getting me fit.
Exactly. So, and maybe he's going to get something on himself through us and become a Forrester's member. I'm hoping he does. And I think he sees the value now. But the biggest thing is he just learned how to pull out policies. Now he's got a story to tell when he sits down with a client and says, oh my gosh, I didn't know this. So there's a great story that could become just from sitting out and getting and reviewing your own policies.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, I help somebody make sure that they've done a couple warm market appointments. He said, Mike, do I have to sell to my friends and family? I don't give a rip if you sell to your friends and family. But here's what I want, Chris. I want you to know how to fire the gun effectively with live ammo when we're in a firefight. But I'd rather you practice with some blanks and dummies and learn how the gun works so you don't shoot me or yourself when you start working with live ammo in battle. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I agree.
Okay. All right. So I like the idea of somebody getting a couple practice appointments done It's not important to me if it results in an application. Now, we try to run like a real appointment. Now, we don't do false scenarios. It's a real appointment that we run. We help people review their coverage. We ask them questions. We see what they may have or may need. And you'd be surprised how many times a need comes up and we help somebody apply. But either way, you're going to learn more.
How's the conversation go if I'm the new agent and you're getting me to book some appointments with my warm market?
So first thing I do is I just coach you up, Chris. I say, Chris, here's what we want to do. In order to get you some good warm market appointments, let's help you create a list of the right people. And there's 3 categories of people that fall on that list. 1, people that are married, partnered, engaged, cohabitating together with some kind of financial interest and love interest. That's the first group. Second group of people, they could be single or married, but they've got young kids that they're taking care of. Their young could be 0 to 25 years old living at home. Okay. Third group of people is someone that's not married, doesn't have young kids at home, but they've got some kind of adult in their life that's going to be on dumpster duty when they die. Could be a sibling, a parent, or an adult child. And so those are 3 different groups of people. As you'll scroll through your phone, Chris, if you can come up with a list of 15 to 20 people that live near you that meet any one of those 3 criteria, that gives us a good batch of a few people to work with. Now, Chris, here's what you're going to say when you call them. Very simple script. Say, Chris, if I was calling you because I need a warm market appointment, here's how it's going to go. So it's going to go ring, ring.
Hello?
Chris, man. Hey, it's Mike. How's it going?
Hey, good. Hope you are.
Good. How's Crystal and the kids doing?
Doing great. Doing great. Thanks
Cool.
for asking.
Hey, glad to hear. And let me tell you the reason for the call. That's my quick transition statement. Let me tell you the reason for the call. Chris, the reason I'm calling is, I don't know if you know, but outside of my engineering work, I've started to work with another company, and I'm doing some work in the financial arena. And this company has clients already set for me to start meeting with next week. The reason I'm calling is because I need some help. They're providing clients for me to meet with, but they've asked me to practice what I'm doing before I start meeting with their clients. And I was wondering if you and Crystal would give me some time so I could come over and practice what I'm going to be doing in terms of asking clients questions and reviewing their coverage, so I'm better equipped when I start my job next week.
Yeah, that's
Would you guys
perfectly
want to
fine.
help? Okay. And I need to get it done quick because I got to start next week. Would you guys be available sometime this weekend, like Friday or Saturday, to knock that out?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We can do it Saturday.
Okay. Beautiful. Awesome. And that's how I do it. The key words there is, I need some help. Keywords are, they've got me started meeting with their clients next week. I talk about they have clients for me, so it takes the pressure off and the sense of urgency, like I need to do it now. And those are the key things. And some people are going to say, yeah, we're happy to. Some people are going to say, no. If you've got a group of 15, 18, you're going to find 3, 4, 5 that are going to be able to do it now if you'll use those words. All right. So now that we've done that, I, as the person that's going to help you get leads, feel way better about your understanding of what we're doing. And that's really, really important to me, Chris. So especially if I'm going to be helping invest in leads. So if you're coming in at an entry-level contract with us, I want to make sure we're getting you up to speed as fast as possible and helping you get to the higher contract levels. Chris, depending on where you're coming in at, you may have money to invest in leads, you may not. And we're going to be able to help you with leads no matter where you're at. But that's a big thing. So, Chris, as we talked before, I know we talked, and in your case, Chris, are you coming in full-time with us, or do you still have another job that's creating income for you right now?
I'm coming in part-time. I have another job.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So, Chris, I'm going to do some things to invest in leads to help you get rolling. In addition to what I'm going to do you have any money that you're comfortable putting toward leads to get started with, be it 50 or 75 or $100 or anything like that?
Yeah, I can do about $100 a week that I
Okay.
can put aside.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. If you can do that, that's going to go a long way to help and get you started. And we're going to do a bunch more on top of that. Chris, one of the things that you've not heard me say by now, 3 things I tell agents it takes to get this business off the ground. It's going to take work, it's going to take leads, and it's going to take communication. Those are the 3 big things. And my job is to help you kind of understand and remind you of all 3 as you're getting up to speed. And that's how we're going to get you up to these higher levels on the super PAC as a writing agent. So the next big thing is, let's kind of talk about schedule. The folks I talk to get started we help them make sure they're scheduled before we even get leads. So in your case, We've got guys that dial on Monday for Tuesday and Wednesday appointments, and then they dial Thursday for Friday, Saturday appointments. With your job, which are you thinking you can kind of do something on all 6 of those days, or are you going to need to pick 3 and go 4 in or all in on 3 of those days?
Right now, I'm working Monday to Friday, just 8 to 5.
Okay.
So where would you put me, and I can do whatever you say?
So Monday through Friday, what time do you get done on Friday and Thursday typically?
5 o'clock evening.
You get up 5. There's 2 ways we can work this. We could be dialing Thursday when you get home from work, say from 5 to 9, to book up Friday afternoon and evening and all day Saturday. Or we could dial on Thursday and Friday a little bit to book up all of Saturday and maybe some of Sunday. So there's a couple ways we could set this up and structure this to help you be effective. There's no right way, but that's kind of the way I'd be looking at it. Do you want to have 2 full days to run, or do you want to have a day and a third to run?
Probably 2 full days to run.
So I might suggest doing dials on Thursday and Friday to book up Saturday and Sunday in your case. Okay, so now if we're looking at leads, if we've got your $100 to get started, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look to see what's available. Now, what county is it you live in?
I live in Alamance County.
Alamance County. So we're going to take a look at Alamance County here. We're going to see what's there, and we're going to look at a couple adjacent counties. Now, we have a couple of lead sources here. So what I'm looking at is I'm looking to see what kind we have, and based on what's happened with your based on what we've got in your area and your budget and my budget to get you started, we're going to get you a blend of lead types. So now as I look right now, I don't see any of what we call our A leads in inventory in Alamance County, but we may be able to get some coming in. But I don't know if we'll be able to get them for next Thursday and Friday's dial day, but we're going to see about that because it takes time to build up. If we place a GMR order, and since you're just getting started, we're not looking for a commitment. What I'm thinking is we're going to go in, we're going to find some follow-up type leads where we can get them for maybe $2 or $3 a piece, and we can get a bunch of them. We're also going to look at another tool that we have that's called Mail Pro, which may have some leads, and I've got another source called Bang Bang where we might be able to create an order ahead of time. By the way, Chris, is my video coming through okay?
Yep.
Okay, because the video froze up on my end, but I'm hearing you okay. All right, that's good, as long as you're seeing me good. Okay, so Chris, the next big piece of this is if you've got $100, I'm going to see what's in inventory, and then what I'm thinking is I'm going to look at Mail Pro, I think, for our first batch and some other follow-up leads I might have on hand from Alamance County, and I think we can probably get you a good batch of 50, 60 leads for your first dial session to give you a lot of leads. So you've got plenty of room to make a lot of mistakes and still get a good number of appointments. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Okay. So as we do that, that's going to be the first week. Now, Chris, based on what happens in your comfort level and stuff after the first week, we'll probably come back and regroup, and we will plan the next week. And based on how you're doing, how you're feeling, we may look at placing a larger order of some Bang Bang social media leads that come in fresh and exclusive for you. We may look at setting up what we call a GMR, or a steady order of some of our great direct mail leads. Those take time to come in, and maybe a 3 to 4 week lead time to start to see those. We may take a look at that as well. So, Chris, those are the tools that we're going to look at to kind of ramp you up and get you building up. Now, I know you said you've got $100 for this first batch. As you start making money, Chris, promise me one thing.
Okay.
When you get your first paycheck, don't run and spend all of it. Okay.
I promise you I won't do that.
That's good. Because what I want you to do is we're going to take that, we're going to want to reinvest it. And maybe instead of spending or investing $100, maybe you want to take it up to say $150. In fact, Chris, tell me, what kind of income goal do you have for working with us on a part-time basis?
About 50 to 60,000.
Okay, 56. So that's about $1,000 a week. Chris, if you're trying to get to $1,000 a week getting started with us, I'm going to suggest you're probably going to need about a 4-to-1 ratio of lead flow dollars to commission dollars. So if you want $1,000 a week, you're probably going to need $250 a week in leads. Now, the good news is you're getting referrals and using our other products. It may not need that much, but I want to prep you for that mindset. It's kind of like a 4-to-1 expectation. And you may be more or less efficient in that coming out of the gate right away in your first couple of weeks, but as you build up, that's about what you're going to see. But now, as you get into your second year with renewals, higher commission levels, more referrals, experience, you'll perform better than that. But at first, that's probably about where you're going to fall.
Perfect.
Okay.
The sooner I can get to 250, the better.
Exactly. The faster you get to 250, and then if you start thinking, Mike, I like this, I'm thinking about going full time, and if you have a bigger goal, we're going to need to adjust your lead flow to help you get to that bigger goal.
Okay. Perfect. So let's say, Mike, I come in and I say to you, I have no cash. I'm strapped. First of all, how often does that happen? Because you hire a bunch of people. So one thing, because if you're hiring a bunch of people and it's 50-50, then we need to talk about it. If it's, what's your ratio? How many people come in and say they've got money, and how many people say they don't have money, typically?
I think more people don't have money.
All right.
It just depends. I'd say, but maybe it's 40, maybe it's 60-40. Maybe 60% of people have some to little money. And then maybe 40% have less. And no, Mike, I'm good. I'm good starting with $300 a week in leads and $400 a week, and let's go. So,
and I assume you go through the same process and get them to do warm market appointment.
I'm going to invite them to review their coverage and do warm market appointment. Now, if they don't do it, I'm not mad at them. I'm helpful, but I'm encouraging them to do that, and I'm encouraging them the importance of it, because whether they're a veteran agent or rookie agent, I'm just a believer in, man, you're gonna help out way more families if you own a Forester's policy and you have and use the Forester's member benefits. You will be more inclined to talk about them and attract more people to you. I just sold a policy today because I was going over the member benefits and talking about the orphan benefits, and I was talking about the scholarship my daughter picked up from Forester. So I'm still big on that. Okay. So yeah, I'm always talking about that, but I think it's because I own a Forester's policy. I've got that credibility, that passion, and it just kind of comes out of me. You can't stop it. But from there, if they do that, and then they do a couple warm market appointments, they just learn how to work with me. I just see a much higher success level when people go through and engage with a few warm market appointments. They learn at a high level, and then from there, I find they perform better when they start working with leads. I've got some people.
How does the conversation go about leads when they don't have cash flow? What do you say to them?
I said, hey, I'm willing to help you out. I definitely need you to be super tight in your communication and presence and in accountability. I said, so if you've got none, I'm believing you. I want to do some things to get you on. So if you had none, and if you've done a policy on yourself and you've done some warm market appointments, I'm way more willing to do more to invest in you. Now, if you've not done any warm market appointments and you're not doing an app on yourself and you're fighting me on everything and you're not showing up on conference calls, my desire to invest in you is much lower. I'm not going to take as big a risk. Okay, you're going to have to find other ways to prove yourself to me if that's how you are. Now, if you're doing more of those things, my purse strings loosen up. I have a much greater confidence I'm going to get a return on my investment of time and money in you if you're doing these simple, basic things that I ask and teach people to do getting started.
Okay, so the more I'm leaning in, the more you're investing in.
Absolutely. Some people say that's not fair. I said, that's exactly right. I am more fair to the people that lean in more, and I'm less fair to the people that lean in less.
Okay. Anything else high level on leads, conversation you have, how do you get them to move with the leads, so on? Anything else we're missing?
Once it's your first dial day, I'm big on making sure you know how to print out your leads. I make sure you know how to keep score of your dials. I encourage you to be at one of our dial sessions, whether if you're face-to-face in an office with us or if it's on Zoom where you can see us and we can see you. We make sure you know how to share your score with us on how many dials and connects and set. I make sure you know what a dial is. It's a dial is not the number of leads you're calling, but it's an actual outbound phone call. I make sure you know that if you get 3 connects without booking an appointment, that you know to stop and call for help. Like, stop, get some help, let's get some coaching, let's talk it through. Just don't keep running on through more leads. You might continue to make the same mistake. So that's really big. The communication on dial day is critical. We're not throwing you out there and hoping you sink or swim. We're focusing in on trying to get you immersed, communicating, connecting, doing the work, and that's how we're going to get you better.
The big things I noticed, Mike, was for a new person that comes in, if I'm a new person and I'm working with you or I'm working with Paul Roberts or anybody, first thing I should do is bring you my policies. Say, hey, look at my policies, walk me through reviewing them. So that teaches me how, plus it helps me. And then I should try to book some more market appointments with the script that you use on how do I get in front of these people to get some practice, and then start investing leads. And I like how you took my lead investment based off my schedule and my goals. So it all tied together. So I almost felt like I was choosing how much I was going to invest instead of you selling me on investing, which I appreciated. And then I also liked the part where you went all the way through to the dial day. You didn't just leave them alone and like you made the sale and left them. Your goal was to get them to produce. And I think a big message is fight for your upline's time, fight for your upline's investment. So what Mike was saying to me as a new agent was, if I'm fighting to get around him, then he's fighting to help me to grow faster through leads, through his time, through communication, and so on. Am I right on there with it, Mike, or I miss anything?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're looking for one more that wants to lean in and make this work. And you show us you're hungry by putting in the work, communicating like crazy, and reinvesting in leads. And we'll get you up on that super pack, and we'll get you knocking out $25,000 a month, $40,000 a month, $50,000 a month, if that's what your goal is. Absolutely.
Good stuff. Thank you for jumping on, Mike. We'll see y'all next week.
All right. Sounds good.